Click. And now we'll do a little clap in 3, 2, 1. Kitty ears.
You ever watched a Johnny Carson show?
Yes, like a bunch.
I figured that you did, just because that's just a Robert thing to do.
Okay.
That's
Whatever
a
that
compliment.
means.
I've never watched, I've never been one for late night TV or anything, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been aware of Johnny Carson, but I've never sought him out to watch or anything. So, I was hanging out with my mom one day, and she was like scrolling through all the like free shit on her TV, and she was like, "Oh, the entire Johnny Carson show."
Oh my God. Okay.
I was like, "All right," and so she's like, "Let's just watch like the first episode," because she recognized one of the guests on there. She's like, "This is a magician whose name is Kreskin," which
Okay.
what a name.
Kreskin.
Kreskin,
Wow.
something from the 70s, I think. And she was like, I went to one of his shows. It's like, all right, cool. So we watched the first episode of Johnny Carson, and I I don't know what I expected, but late night TV back then was so fucking different. Like
Oh yeah.
the format alone, like I feel like now whenever a guest comes out, like they have a story that they tell that they've previously discussed with the host, like this is what we're cleared to say, this is, I'm here to promote this movie I'm doing, and we're just going to talk like kind of on the rails about this stuff.
Yeah.
And they had like a movie star that I'd never heard of, and I looked her up, and she's been in like 2 movies, so she wasn't that big anyway.
Okay.
And she was she's British, and she seemed like she just took like 6 Quaaludes before she came out, because she was just like not present. She was just kind of
Okay.
staring through Johnny Carson and being like, yeah, so like I'm in movies, and
And he's
sometimes
like,
they go on TV, and that makes me
wow.
sad because it's TV and not movies. It was so weird. And she was just
That's
so
funny though.
she was super low key, and he was just trying to like talk to her to make any kind of interesting conversation. She was just
Yeah.
like, yup. Like that was the extent of her segment. But the important segment, the first one actually, the very first guest he had was a woman that was a zookeeper. And so she comes out,
Okay.
and she's like, I brought some animals to talk about today. And I was like, okay, cool. Like good old fashioned animal education. And
Yeah.
she leaves and comes back with a like tiger cub on a leash. And just like, no, she came back first with a fucking gorilla, a baby gorilla. And
Okay.
it was like so cute. It was in a little fucking like belly shirt and a diaper. It looked like Tommy Pickles. And
Oh my God.
she just like sets it on the desk and is like not touching the animal, just like here,
Just like,
here is
here it
a
is.
baby gorilla, and just like leans back and doesn't bother to care for him or anything. And so Johnny Carson just kind of like grabs the gorilla, and the gorilla just starts like fucking mauling his face with his little fist, just like
Oh my God.
gripping at his eyebrows and trying to pull his hair out and stuff. And he's trying to maintain composure and do like an interview, but this gorilla is just absolutely groping his nose, and just it was so wild. But it was so weird because I'm used to like animal trainers coming out and like holding the animal the entire time and being like, hey host, probably don't touch the animal because it's dangerous. But she's just like, here's a baby gorilla, I'm gonna set it down on your desk and not think about it.
I think I've seen that gorilla part before.
It's so cute though, like his little face, he looks so human. And so then
He's
next
just a baby.
He's such a baby.
Okay.
So the next one, she leaves and brings out the tiger cub, and the tiger cub is on a leash, thank fucking God. But she
Okay.
doesn't seem to have good control of it. And she just like reaches down and picks up the gorilla, or not gorilla, the tiger. The gorilla's gone by this point because we
Yeah.
don't mix the animals, thank God. I don't know what a tiger cub would do with a gorilla. So she just kind of picks up the tiger cub and then just hands that to Johnny Carson.
Okay.
It's just like not a tame tiger. Like it's like they picked this tiger up out of the wild, and they were like, okay, let's try to get this guy on a night show.
Oh my God.
And it's just
Okay.
like squirming, and like you can see his big tiger paws. He's got the claws and everything, and he's just like touching on Johnny Carson's suit and like clawing at him and shit. And he starts to bite him, and I'm like, man, there's no fucking control. And then the lady disappears, leaves the tiger cub on stage with Johnny Carson, leaves the stage, comes back with a fucking puma, like a full grown ass puma on a leash.
Okay.
And the puma, the first thing it does is it jumps on his desk and just starts like moving shit off of it, just like pushing papers everywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's no more script. It's just like puma time. So there's
God.
no control on this set. And the lady's like not even giving that many facts about it. She's just like, yeah, this thing can get up to like 200 pounds. Your tiger will be like 600 pounds when he's an adult. And Johnny Carson's just like, I don't know what to do. There's animals all over my set.
Yeah.
And the carpeting was this incredible like 6-inch long green shag carpet.
Oh God. Okay.
And the tiger cub is just like pulling at it with his teeth, just like ripping it up like it's grass. And then the puma starts to chew on the couch and knocks over the table that's sitting between them. It was fucking chaos. Okay, so she puts the cats away, and then the last thing they bring out is a snake. And I was like, please hold the snake,
I'm gonna
please.
fucking squeeze this man.
Because it's a 13-foot python. It's huge. Like, so it's the zookeeper, she comes out, and then two like big men that are also just there to hold the python, I guess. They come out and they're holding on to it. And the guy that's holding the head, his stance is like super wide, and he's like wrestling with it because the snake doesn't want to be there. And it's like flexing and curling, and they're trying to keep it like straight so the audience can see like, oh, big
Christ.
snake. And Johnny Carson talks to the guy that's holding the head of the snake. He's like, you really got a grip on that thing. And he's like, yeah, this thing bit me last week, and I don't want to do that again.
It's okay, move on.
Yeah.
Move along, please.
He was like, okay. And then they had Kreskin, the magician guy, I think. Or maybe it was his assistant. I don't know. Did he have like an assistant, like a little friend that helped him?
I don't know, but I just looked him up. He died like a month
Pretty
ago.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we saw that too, because Mom was like, I wonder what Kreskin's up to these days. And oh, he's dead.
Well, I mean,
So
as a magician from the 70s, like, I don't know what we think, you know?
he was pretty old. But no, there was like a dude that just hung out with Johnny Carson. He was like the first guy that came out with him. And I think he was just like his co-host. I don't know.
Yeah, like his Paul Schaefer.
Yeah. So he was trying to measure the snake, and he's like, well, I have a tape measure. And they took a minute to find the tape measure. It shocked me how unorganized the whole thing was. And it took them like 5 minutes to measure this snake. Like, no joke. They were just fumbling, like, where's the tape measure? I don't know. Check over there. Maybe the puma ate it.
Yeah.
And they eventually measured it, and they were just like, oh, 13 feet. Cool. And it was just an experience. Like, I feel like today when you watch a night show, they have just on the rails a path that they're following, a plan. There's a story. This was just fucking chaos, and it made me want to watch more old TV because they didn't have anything. They were just like a wing and a prayer. Let's do this live TV.
I would say your last one that kind of was doing that would have been Letterman. Because he was kind of mean to people.
Was he?
A little bit. Like he would kind of have what they were going to talk about, but he would keep pushing other things. And, like, sometimes you could tell, like, that guest did not want to discuss that topic. And you go, okay. Well, anyway, we're talking about the movie. But so, why don't you want to talk about the divorce right now? And, like, he would just literally push at people. I think he was the last one that you'd probably see that on. Because I can't see that. Because, like, okay, remember Jimmy Fallon, when the last season of Game of Thrones was coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And Maisie Williams went on there and, like, spoiled what happened.
Yeah.
It's all scripted, though. Like,
right.
Like, that felt like such a holy shit moment, but then it's like, April Fools. Like,
yes.
Like, you can't even count on some of the drama to be real, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like they know all of that going in, right? There's always clips that are like, oh, Jimmy Fallon didn't see this coming, or like, but he's an actor,
like,
you know?
Okay.
Like, and he's not a good actor, but he's an actor. He can pretend to be surprised.
Even on that, so you know how they do, what's the one where they make the, like, so, like, the singers come out and they'll be like, okay, we're gonna, like, roll an imaginary board and you're gonna sing, you know?
Oh yeah, like the Ariana Grande in the style of Celine Dion or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they were like, hey, what are 3 impressions you do well?
Yes, exactly.
And then they give it to you, and then you kind of get to work on the song like a little bit beforehand.
Because it wouldn't be funny if they
There's
gave you
no
like,
fucking way.
yeah, like you're not going to know a singer from 30 years ago or something, or a song that you just don't know.
Yeah. And then just go like, okay, I made a masterpiece
Yeah.
randomly, you know? Like, no. There's no way. They definitely go over that shit. They have
It's all scripted, guys.
It is all scripted.
You want unscripted entertainment, you watch Johnny Carson from the early 70s, or you come listen to YMBToAP.
Yeah.
It
What was
felt
the
like an
name?
episode of YMBToAP. It was fucking weird.
I think the thing that I just got was Johnny Carson as well. I just got this on TikTok not too long ago. It was during his farewell year when he was going to retire. And so
Okay.
they were having like all their big guests come on for like one final time.
Mm-hmm.
And he had Bill Cosby on for one of his last shows. And like this guy was like analyzing that segment, right? And he was like, at the time, I think we thought it was all funny. But if you're watching it, it really seems like Bill Cosby is just mad at being there and doesn't want to participate.
Oh, no.
Because Bill kept making the joke, and I can see where it's the joke, but he kept being like, well, how come you've got this show? And like, why do I need to be here? And like, he kept not answering questions and just being like, so what's the point of me being here? And he just kept saying that like the whole time.
God. That's nuts.
I guess like in the moment, you're like, I mean, that's Bill Cosby at the height of his time.
Yeah.
You're like, of course he's being funny. He's the funny guy, you know?
Right.
But he's actually up there not being so funny. I'll tell you this, though, real quick, because I just found it out last night. I was showing people some videos, and I showed off, remember Scary Smash, the written by a kid with Squat Team?
Yes. Oh, my God.
So I watched Squat Team last night,
Fuck yes. I forgot about the squat team.
and in the show, what happens is the monster blows fire and kills like half the squat team. So remember, he has to go door to door and like ask for new recruits.
Yes.
When the people burn alive, it's fucking Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning back there.
What?
And I only know that now because I've watched them now, but I was like, it's fucking Rhett and Link. They're burning alive back there. And then we were watching bad local commercials. That's just where the night took a turn last night.
Okay.
So we were watching just weird fucking commercials. So there's this one from North Carolina. It's called The Red House. And this is legit the commercial. They're all like, this furniture's good for white people
What?
and for black people.
Okay, thank God.
And then they're like, this bed perfectly could fit a black man or a white man.
Why?
That's the fucking commercial. They're like, you can't just say, we're for everybody. They keep saying, we're for white people and black people. And then right at the end, they go, also Hispanic people too. And everyone.
Okay.
It was a weird commercial.
Oh my God,
But
strange.
in the background, cutting in, there's people singing The Red House, which is the name of the store. They're going, at the Red House. It's Rhett and Link again. They just kept popping up in all my fucking media last night. And I was like, who are these dudes?
Oh my God.
I don't know. I think my brain made that correlation because I was thinking about like Unhinged watching stuff.
Uh-huh.
That would be a show that you could watch that's a little more like, the fuck is happening?
For sure. I think we need more.
Or you listen to YMBToAP. Because
just
we definitely don't know
YMBToAP.
what the fuck is happening at any given moment.
No, we got tigers all over the place.
I do promise you, though, that if we do like a more live type thing, I won't bring out animals for you.
Okay.
I won't just throw a baby gorilla on the desk and be like, here you go, Kelsey.
Maybe that would have livened up our actual live show that we did.
Maybe so. I just don't want spiders.
No.
No spiders. I'll do the snake, maybe.
I would love
be
to
alright.
hold a snake. Maybe not hold it. I would love to pet a snake. I don't want to be
Have
the one
you
responsible.
have you
for
ever
the
pet a snake?
I feel like I probably did as a kid, but not as
Like
an
Camp
adult.
Goddard?
Yeah, that big ass fucking snake they
Yeah.
had at Camp Goddard.
I'm trying to think if I've ever held one. I don't think so. Dude, I'll get you. Here you go. I'll get you one of the ones that pretends to die because that's really safe.
Cute.
You've seen those, right?
No.
Who've ever seen those? It's a whole snake. His whole function in life is just when he gets scared, he just flips over and fucking dies.
Like a
He
fainting
literally
goat.
plays possum.
That's amazing.
It's the cutest thing ever. because they're so timid. They're called like pygmy snakes or something.
Cute.
I'll find it. Before we get out of here, I just want to tell you I've been listening to some music,
Excellent.
and I'm just going to send you guys to go listen to music. I'm not playing any music today.
Okay.
It's too early for music. For rockin'.
Really.
So I put these in the music club Discord, right?
Mm-hmm.
But had Kelly Clarkson on TV the other day, and so she usually tries to like show off a musical artist that like I guess you don't know sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
And so she did these 3 Latina sisters, and they're called The Warning, right?
Yes, yes. You sent that video. It was so
I am
good.
like all about The Warning right now. They are so fucking good.
I've not heard of them before, but I want to hear more from them. So
No.
please.
And they
send
open
me.
for like tons of huge acts though.
Really?
Yeah, they open for tons of people, but they just don't have like their footing. Dude, if I ever saw The Warning was coming to town, I would be going.
Hell yeah.
They are great. But then got a new one that I think I put out there as well. Coheed and Cambria has new singles coming out, and they've got like 3, so there must be a new album on the way.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was making waves on TikTok because they were like, does this not just give you like Wave Racer 64 vibes?
What?
And it is like the most like poppy chill 90s rock thing you've ever fucking heard.
From Coheed?
It's really good.
Okay.
It's really good though. And then like the one right after is a little bit harder, and then the next one is just straight up like punk screaming.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, okay, we got back. Like, so this album must just be a wide gamut of things happening, you know?
All over the place.
But go listen to Warning. They're phenomenal. And go listen to new Coheed. I think it was called Someone Who Can is the new one.
All right.
That's the kind of poppy one. It's pretty good.
Hell yeah.
You want to get into the real stuff?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I need to get my mouse from under my cat. She was like pressing buttons during that and making me hear shit. Baby, I need this.